Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, and on today's video we're talking about a fragrance from the house of Gucci. So on today's video I'm very excited because this is my first fragrance from the Alchemist Garden collection in my collection essentially. So this is part of their private range. Like I said, it's called the Alchemist Garden line or collection, and they have quite a few different fragrances in this range. They have the dark black bottles. They also have the white bottles, which is one of the ones that we have here today. They have, I think they used to have pink ones, green ones, and then they also had some that were transparent, like Sun Song, which was a blue bottle. It was a rose fragrance, still around. That's one I'm actually very interested in, although I've heard it's just a plain Jane rose fragrance. By the way, if you do hear noise, there's a bunch of people outside in the pool, and unfortunately we have a very crappy unit that is sitting right by the pool area, and everyone and their mom decided to come out today and play music and scream at the pool, so my apologies for that. But the fragrance that we have here today is called Tears of Iris, and this is what the bottle looks like. It is a white bottle. It has gold lettering on it. It's going to say Gucci on it. It's going to say Tears of Iris, and it's going to have a cute little owl on it. It's really, really cute if you want to look at that there. At the top, you also get an owl on the lid itself. There's not that many Gucci logos visible on this bottle, which is very different for Gucci because Gucci, if you know the brand itself, they are very into their logos, their Marmont Gucci logo and their Gucci-sima GG logo, and it's nowhere to be found on this actual bottle. So very interesting. I think they took different vibes. Also, the bottle reminds me a lot of Louis Vuitton. Is that just me, or does it remind anyone else of Louis Vuitton? I mean that with the actual shape of the bottle, not the actual coloring and the design, of course. But the shape of the bottle itself is very much a Louis Vuitton type of thing. I can't remember who came out with theirs first. So this fragrance was launched in 2019, and the notes for this fragrance are very simple. So we're going to have iris, musk, sandalwood, and angelica seed. So yeah, it's not anything super groundbreaking. It's not going to be anything that's super, different to anything else on the market. The perfumer for this fragrance is Alberto Morillas, which he's very, very talented. He has done, I think, Acqua di Gio. He's done Jeremy Fragrance, if you know what I mean. I think that's the same one. I could be wrong about that. But he is talented nonetheless, and this fragrance is an iris fragrance through and through. And what I mean by that is that it's going to have a very lipsticky type of vibe. If you ever smelled Dior Homme Au, which was launched in the 2015 era, that fragrance is definitely a lipsticky heaven dream of iris, and this fragrance does resemble that a lot. It's also going to kind of mimic Prada L'Homme by Prada, and it also kind of gives a nod to Guerlain's La Arte Martyre, I cannot pronounce it, the art collection, their expensive range. They have an iris fragrance that I did do a review on a sample because it's very expensive, but it does remind me a little bit of that. Now this one's not going to be as complex, and it's not going to have that creaminess in the background like the Guerlain one did. It's going to be a little bit more simple, a little bit more subdued, a little bit lighter over top, and it's nice. The only thing about that is that it's kind of a problem whenever you're talking about a fragrance that is costing you $395 US for 100 mils, because that's what this one runs you. That's a lot of money for a very simplistic fragrance. You do get a very nice, luxurious, clean, smooth, creamy fragrance with that beautiful, sharp iris up top. And it's very, like I said, lipsticky type of cosmetics vibe, which is what I like about this fragrance. It's very subdued, it's very luxurious, but in a very clean and modern way. I think this is a really nice fragrance to wear to a lighter event, such as, brunch or a meeting or the office, or something that's just not going to be too serious, but it's also not going to be too playful at the same time. This is definitely the fragrance for that occasion. I don't think this is a really good night clubbing or a date night fragrance because it doesn't have a lot of depth. It doesn't have a lot of characteristics to make it a little bit different to anything else in the market. It also, I'm going to be very transparent about this, does not have great longevity. So you might get anywhere from that's about it. I was going to say 3 to 4 hours, but typically I stop smelling this fragrance at the 3-hour mark. It is an eau de parfum, just so you're aware, and it is manufactured by Coty. And Coty, let's just say Coty has some decisions that they have made in the past, and I am not a fan of the actual perfume distributor and their licensings with other brands like Gucci. But this one itself is manufactured through them, and I have to say it's not the best quality when it comes to concentration, unfortunately. That's not to say that all of them are going to be like this, and I say that for one reason. This is an iris fragrance, and typically iris as a note doesn't last super long on the actual skin, or it doesn't last long at all. It's not known for having great longevity and performance, unfortunately. So this could just be, isolated to this fragrance alone, Tears of Iris, or it could be a thing across the board. I would have to check out the other fragrances in this range to see if this is just this fragrance or if it's across the board. But I do like the fragrance. I do like the smell. I think it's very nice. Do I think it's unique? No. Do I think it's going to be groundbreaking? No. Do I think you need to go out and buy this bottle for the full retail price? No. I think that if you can find, for example, Dior Homme Out, which is the closest thing that I think to this fragrance, I think it's even better than this one in my opinion, my humble opinion. It's just my opinion. Then get that fragrance because I do think it reminds me of this fragrance, but at the same time, it's also going to be a lot longer wearing, if you will, because it is by Dior, and Dior does have, longevity to most of their fragrances, not all of them. Yeah, I do like it. I do think it's a nice fragrance. It smells good. The packaging's cute. I think that the, Gucci name on here sells. Obviously, Gucci sells more than a lot of other brands. I think that it's a fragrance that can definitely be loved by many, but it can also be misunderstood because iris typically comes off as boring to some people, unfortunately. So just, take that into consideration. I do think it's a nice scent. I do think it smells really good. I don't think it lasts very long, and because of that, it's not one that I would certainly say for you to go out and get right now. If you are an iris lover and you love that lipsticky type of cosmetics vibe, then definitely check it out, but do proceed with caution because, at least in my opinion, and in my testing of this fragrance, I don't get great longevity and performance. So there is that, but it could be different for you because it's going to change from person to person. So let me know down in the comments what you think about the Alchemist Garden collection from Gucci. Also, let me know, what do you think about Tears of Iris by Gucci? I'm not saying it's a bad scent. I know that that's what it came across, and I do think it's a nice one. I do think it smells good. Just for the price point alone and the longevity, I don't think that it's worth that price point. I think we could have marked it down to kind of match Louis Vuitton. You know what your thoughts about this fragrance are down below. Also, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance related content. Until next time, you guys, take care.